Hello. Buffon. I like my Buffon. So, it was my birthday yesterday. I was 34 years old again. I decided to be like Merlin. Merlin the wizard. When he gets younger every year. Let's see if I can add this man. Add. Master Prash, bring on camera. Add. Bring Prash on camera. And there you are. Hello, Master Prash. Can you hear me?
I can hear you just fine.
Can you hear me, guys? Hello, boys and girls. Russell Parks, how you doing? Perks, even. Kenny. Kerry, even. Do you know what? I must get a new pair of... I've got a pair of glasses. I should really wear them. Prash, it was my birthday yesterday. I was 34 years old. And
of course,
I was feeling, a little bit sad. And why's that? That's crazy, isn't it?
Absolutely.
Another year older. I'm not really an ageist person. I'm not worried about being so much older, but it's about I've achieved a lot and I want to achieve more. And I've achieved a lot from all of the power of law of attraction. I've also achieved all the things I don't want because I thought about them and I understand now how negative I've been. We were talking just the other day. You've got to be careful what you say because it becomes magic. What you say goes out your mouth and comes back in your head. It goes like when we first trained, you were being negative, had negative self-talk, and we all do to a certain degree. We say, "Oh, it hurts,
Absolutely.
it hurts." Well, if you say it hurts, guess what? It's gonna hurt. I mean, obviously, if you're pushing yourself to the limit, you're going to get some discomfort, but you want to set your mindset right from the beginning.
Absolutely.
Muhammad Ali, I am the greatest. Yeah, you're still going to toil and struggle. But if you're setting your mindset to start with saying negative things, and I said all those things, why am I saying all that? So it's another year, and I'm like, oh, do you know what? I haven't achieved this, and I haven't achieved that. Hold on a minute, Reid. You've achieved so much. And what has got... Listen, I've had a lot of sadness recently. And I'm feeling okay because I've allowed that sadness to come in and go. And it's about not holding on to it, but allowing it, accepting it. And do you know what? Going back to my roots of spirituality. So I wanted to add, the last thing I wanted to add here. It's my birthday yesterday. And I want to give the gift of... Sounds a bit hippie, sounds a bit guru. I'm not a guru. Sharing, waking people up, raising people's vibration, making the world a better place. Hello, Helen. Hello, Sonia. Hello, Chris. Mo Ali, how you doing, bro? Raising people's vibration, because when people are vibrating at a higher frequency, the world's a better place. Everyone's a little bit happier, a bit nicer, a bit more compassionate. You don't have to... If someone beeps you up the arse because you're not driving fantastic, no problem. You go, mate. You can, you're more relaxed. You don't get the road rage, and that just makes life a little bit easier. Tell me, have you ever suffered road rage?
Sure, all kinds of different kinds of rages. I don't think anybody hasn't felt that sort of feeling or been the victim of it at some point in their lives, right? You've either been the perpetrator or you've been the victim. And in any case, as from a coach's perspective, as a pro coach, and I see this in our coaching clients again and again, people need to learn the art of emotional management, self-management. And self-management means you work and you start to manage and own your emotions. You start to manage and own your intellect, and you start to manage and own your aspirations in a way that they start working for you rather than you working for them. And that's the art of self-management, self-regulation, and that's what we do. And when you do that, you learn to take that response somebody else. Let me give you a perfect example. Alex, you must know this, I'm sure, where you've been expecting a birthday message from somebody really close to you and I'm with my friends here. Let me show you where I am because this is really cool. Alex Reid, just going live. I'm
Hello,
with my
Prash.
Kung Fu master, right?
Oh,
I'm with my
good stuff.
That's my Kung Fu master right there. Hang on. There they are. You can't see them.
I can't see them. Are you doing some Kung Fu, yeah? I love
Yeah, so I've been with the, we just finished some Kung Fu, you know? It was just awesome. We did some Wing Chun Kung Fu. And that's my master around there. Angel, I'll lock up. It's all good. I'll lock up. It's cool.
Do you know what? We talk about it. I was doing martial art. I'm wearing an eskrima top. I love all my different martial arts. We've got a retreat
I'll
company.
be here for a few minutes and I'll lock up.
If you guys are into martial arts, maybe you're not into martial arts, but there's many principles and philosophies you can take from martial arts. For instance, this morning, I was playing chess I was training someone, and I was training them in just basic boxing and kickboxing. And I was putting him under pressure, and I was saying how just by putting him under pressure, making him try and do a certain technique, it would evolve his synapses in his brains to be able to cope with life better.
Absolutely.
Emotional chess. And if you're a fighter and you're used to a soldier or something who's dealing with direct confrontation all the time, physical confrontation, it has an ongoing positive effect in dealing with emotional conflict.
Absolutely.
You learn how to deal with stuff. Look, I mean, you still feel it and you feel stressed, but you deal with it. You learn how to breathe. You learn how to survive under pressure. You have to, because if you don't, you get punched in the nose and it hurts. If you can take, I mean, on our retreat, I'm going to be teaching things like this. It's not about necessarily learning how to stop getting punched in the nose physically, but emotionally. And we are going to be doing some martial arts. And I was thinking this morning how I was being Mr. Miyagi. You were just talking about your Kung Fu master. I was going back to my old original, I was a Kung Fu guy. Some of the fantastic lessons I learned as a kid doing martial arts. And to this day, I was excited like a little superhero. I wanted to be a mini Bruce Lee. And as silly as that was, it was so fun because those lessons have stand me in good stead as an adult. So it's good to play and it's good to imagine and it's good to be like that Peter Pan. When you're a kid, you want to be a movie star or you want to be like your favorite.
Yeah, totally.
So you're a pop star.
Well, let me jump in here. What I want to say, and I'm mindful of the time here, is to go back to that point about emotional management. Or you were expecting, let's say you were expecting something from somebody. Let's say it was your birthday and you didn't get a birthday card or a birthday message from somebody that you really expected, somebody close to you and you'd expect it and you didn't get it. What's the natural human reaction? The human reaction is you get emotional. You get a heightened state of upsetness or disappointment or frustration or anger. In other words, you get an adverse reaction to the fact that your expectation from that person wasn't fulfilled. Now, at that stage, your emotion is taking control of you. Emotional management or emotional self-regulation means that you actually ask yourself, you intervene, you check yourself when you do it and you say, wait a second. Okay, yeah, so Sarah hasn't replied to me. Sarah hasn't wished me happy birthday. But what else could it mean? Oh, wait a second. Sarah's a mother of 3. She's not well. Her mom's in hospital right now. She's got a ton of stuff on her plate. So you know what? If she hasn't wished me happy birthday and she hasn't got me a present, yeah, I cut her some slack. She's got a lot going on in her life, probably. And it's the same thing in relationships, right? You're with your loved one. He or she doesn't behave the way you expect them to, or they do something to piss you off. Are you being sensitive to the context within which the other person is operating? Because it's easy for us to be sensitive to our stuff, but to be mindful that, well, the other person is coming from a state where their intent is good, but their actions are just very harsh because they're running from an emotional level. We need to learn to self-regulate so we stop getting pissed ourselves at the actions that other people are doing on us. Remember, we can't control other people's actions perfectly, but we can control our reaction to other people's actions.
So do you find if you're aware of that, you don't lose your shit? Because listen, there's going to be times where you're upset, you've been hurt, you've been offended, and and you
it
can't
doesn't.
hurt.
Yeah, it doesn't happen as often.
It messes, it affects your shit, so to speak. And you're like, someone comes along, a loved one, and they say something, and you're like, rah, 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 rah. Hang on. If you're aware, consciously aware, you can stop that because you have appreciation. They might have something going on. They might have had a bad day themselves. But the thing is, how do we stop that ourselves? Because we have bad days. Two people are having a bad day. And it's very easy. That's when arguments start. Flares,
Yeah.
temper, and fights start. And you see, they could be so easily avoided. But unfortunately, it's because we're not aware. How do you
Right.
find that?
So, no, it's absolutely, we're not aware, and that's part of our upgrade, part of our self-development is to become more aware. We're always being taught this as kids. Here's the strange thing: as kids, we're taught look left, look right. When you cross the road, look left, look right, cross the road, right? We were all programmed this as kids. Isn't it funny that when we're adults, we're not taught these basic human skills about being aware of the kind of people and emotions that are around you? We don't get taught that at school. One of my good friends, she's watching us with right now, big shout out to Ush. Ush Danak of ushdanak.com is Australia's top EQ coach, as in emotional intelligence. She's the authority on emotional intelligence. We have a chat about this, and she often says this, you know, that people don't get that basic information when they grow up. So we're running around as big babies in corporations. For God's sake, you've got CEOs and heads of companies acting like babies when things don't go their way because they've not been taught what to look left and look right. In other words, to become sensitive to the context of the situation. And that means when you have two fists coming at each other, you're not likely to resolve an argument. But if you get a fist and you get a bit of, if you get a bit of leeway, if somebody punches you and you resist, it's going to become a fist fight. But if you punch and you deflect that, now you're able to actually avert the argument or actually overcome that, diffuse that tense situation, right? If somebody's really getting on one, you need to not learn to rise to the bait.
And is this go back to, we said some of the most powerful people in the world, they could be in control of countries, but they can revert to in these times back to the inner child, the child that was damaged as a young person and never's healed. So guess what? When shit happens, they go back to that child mentality because we never heal it. That's why people can act like childish and stupid and just say the most ridiculous things. So if you go back and heal that and become at peace with that inner child, that would make you cope a lot better, I imagine.
It would absolutely make you cope a lot better. And what it means is you're becoming a more elevated and a more in tune version of yourself, right? And that's what we want. We all want to become more in tune versions of ourselves. And I think one of the lessons here for us is we've got to put that time in. Nothing works unless you do the work. I said this on a live last night. Nothing works unless you do the work. And as coaches, as mentors, as what we do here at Urban Spirituality, one of the basic principles is, and you'll know this as a martial artist, you can have the best coach in the world, but if you're not going to put in some degree of work, you're not going to see those results. And this isn't work that is going to cause you great deals of pain if it's done in the right way. And that's what we do on retreats like this. It's a chance for you to take a mirror, shine it on yourself, look at some of the stuff that isn't working in your life, and go and get some help to actually weed it out. And that's what we're doing. It's like a mechanic going in to repair your car, right? And just after an MOT, they're going in and there's something broken, there's a part. You and I and the other facilitators on the retreat will be your coaches. We will be your mechanics. We will help you to remove and refit parts that are going to help you to become more optimal in the way you think, the way you feel, and therefore the way you react, and therefore the way you act. Because ultimately, the way we think and the way we feel causes us to act in a certain way, and that sets our destiny. So if you change it over here, you can start to create a new reality. That's not woo-woo, and that's not spiritual waffle. That's the real shit right there. And that's what people need to know. People, if you're listening to this, you know this is true. And if you feel it, man, just like Alex, say it and join us.
Hey,
Alex,
hey,
what's happening?
Eddie Bill, I haven't seen you for a while. Stuart Andrews, I went to school with you, mate. Nice to see you. Laura Proud Love. Hey, guys. Wayne Hunt, got your T-shirt on, mate. The Screamer T-shirt. He's on the Screamer Master. Got a lot of good bodies here.
Man after my own heart there, you know, Filipino martial art.
Sarah Davison, how you doing? Dan Ruddy, We could do some training. Don
Naomi,
Clovis.
big shout to Naomi as well.
Yes.
Sarah's going to buy you a present.
And Rita, Tony Sells in the house. TV man. Right, okay. So, ultimately, like I started this conversation off with, birthdays, Christmases, another year's gone by. Oh, God. They can be very happy times. They can also be sad times. I've become extremely reflective. Like I said, I've achieved a lot, and I've also drawn a lot of bad stuff into my life. But the thing that's kept me going, the symbolic glue that's held me together, is spirituality. And I want to give, because I'm with my master Prash here, the Indian Anthony Robbins. We're doing our first retreat in Hungary. I want to make this as affordable as possible. This isn't Prash's first retreat. This isn't my first retreat. This is our first retreat together. And Prash, for those who don't know, my guys, is a brilliant transformational coach. The Indian Tony Robbins. Now, I want to make this as affordable as possible. The full price is $749. We're knocking off £200. $549 from the 17th to the 20th of September in Hungary. 30 minutes from Lake Balaton, which has some of the best lakes and beaches in Europe. We have an excursion there. We also have an excursion to Budapest. We have martial arts, and I'm going to be teaching it Mr. Miyagi style. Yeah, I'm a badass martial artist. I know how to kill people. It's not about killing people. It's about how to not kill people. You know, you've got the skill. It's about how to use these martial arts lessons in like a chess kind of way. So,
well, can I just jump in? I'd love to say a good friend of mine, who's a well-known podcast host, fellow podcast host. She says it lovely like this: we're going to show people how to date their ego and marry their soul. That's what we're doing. And by that means that, you know, like you say, we're not trying to kill people's egos or kill things. We're taming certain tendencies. We're taming things to fine-tune them to a level where you operate more optimally. And that's what it's about. This is about mental fitness, physical fitness, and emotional fitness and spiritual fitness. And if you're fit in each of those areas, using the tools that we're going to share, and also don't forget, there are some great people coming on this trip. Robbie Trainer, Luke, where are you? All you guys who are coming, you're going to bring your own wealth of knowledge, which means that it becomes a really dynamic environment for learning, for fun, and for transformation, because you've got people around you who are also motivated to make a positive change in their life whilst having a good time. And that's the beauty of what we're doing, man. So it's from the 17th to the 20th.
Sometimes there's bumps in the road in life. Sometimes you need to take a pit stop, a retreat.
Absolutely.
To keep going. And even if you don't need to take a retreat, we all need to rest and recharge, re-energize, rejuvenate. Maybe change your trainers. Maybe the shoes you've got on aren't the best shoes. Maybe this is the place where you can change your trainers and get the better shoes. I'm not selling trainers or shoes, by the way. I'm being metaphorical, but my point is, there's better techniques on how to live life. We're going to give you some hacks. What else have we got, Prash?
We got, oh man, so we've got daily, we're going to do a little bit of yoga practice. We're going to have some great yoga. It's nothing complicated. We're going to have a beautiful schedule where we'll teach you basic meditation, mindfulness. We'll have these transformational workshops that we're talking about now, where we'll work every single day on something that's going to be just enough sized, just the right size, where it's not too big and heavy, and it's practical, bite-sized, and usable when you go home. We're going to do yoga, hatha and ashtanga yoga. We'll introduce you to that really gently. We've, of course, got Alex doing your signature stuff. That'll be various levels of fitness. We've got hiking. We've got the excursion to Balaton.
An SAS ninja killer. Okay,
no,
for everybody. Those who struggle to walk up the stairs.
Yeah, we got a beautiful age range of people coming, so you're all good. And in the evenings, we're going to do some beautiful music and spiritual kind of immersion. And there's lots of time to relax, chill, watch cool movies, and just have a great time with people. The apartments are beautiful. The location is stunning. Nobody knows that there's a place like this, 300 acres, 200 miles, 200 kilometers south of Hungary. Nobody knows this place exists because it's amazing and it's unspoiled. And we're just super excited to have you guys come along and experience it with us. Make it happen. If you want to make an investment anywhere, listen, can I just say one thing, Alex? Anyone and everyone listening to this right now can go on any kind of holiday with their friends, family, and that's a given. But to take 4 days out to invest in yourself, the one person you're going to be able to count upon in this life is you. It doesn't matter who's around you, your loved one, your best friend, your lover, your parents, it doesn't matter, your children. The only one person you can ultimately rely on is you, because if you're not right here and here, how can you be good for anyone else or for yourself? You're the heart and center of your business, your career, and your livelihood and your happiness. And that is why we strongly urge you, take 4 days and invest in yourself and see the transformation. If that sounds like a sales pitch, and can I just say, if that sounds like a sales pitch, I don't care, because this is for you. This is your investment. It's for yourself. God, I'm getting passionate about this because we've seen lives change, right? We've seen this 17 years. I've seen the kind of transformations people's have made, man.
We're good guys. We know our stuff. Finally.
Stuart, you're not the only 44-year-old. I got more years on you, mate.
You got 10 years on me.
I got 4 on you.
I went to school with Stuart. Yeah. I'm only 34. Barry Lynch. Yeah. Doing, mate? Ex-Marine. Miriam Ludlow.
Oh, we've got some great
Chelsea
people.
Singh in the house, bro. He's my mate. And Rita Singh. Hey, I hope you can come. Guys, if you're interested, send me or Prash a message. Prash, are you going to put your details on here?
I am indeed. You guys will be able to reach us out, give us a shout.
17th.
We'd love to chat with you.
To the 20th of September in Hungary. 549. Pardon me. You have to pay for your flights, and I'm actually just booking mine now. I'm trying to get one at the moment. I've actually seen one for about 150 quid, which is
it's a good price. Yeah, right now the prices are pretty good. So just give us a shout, and we'd love to have you, folks. Even if you've got any questions, just call us. We're really friendly, and we'll just have a chat and see if this works for you. If it's for you, let's have a chat, conversation, and see what we can do to help you. Yeah.
Looking forward to seeing you guys. Give me a Prash message. Prash, my friend, I'm going to bid you adieu. Is there anything you would like to finish with?
Yeah, you scrubbed up pretty well for a 34-year-old. Did well.
You need a Barnet cut, but hey.
Yeah, that's all right.
Boys and girls, ladies and gents, hasta la vista, baby.
Peace out. Oh, guys, one more thing before I go. Alex, how can I forget? You guys have to check out the most profound and unexpected, eye-opening podcast show out there. It's called Urban Spirituality. I'll put the links in this so you can go and listen to the kind of people out there who are real people having real experiences and how they're making breakthroughs in their life with all the challenges that people like you and I and Alex face all day in and out. So I'll put the links. Go check it out. Alex, we'll have to have you on the show now, won't we? One of these days. We'll get you on.
Looking forward to it. Hey, Rick Dubay.
Boom, boom.
And my good friend Daryl Setterfield. See you all guys later. Speak to you later, dudes.
Peace out.